Hey YouTube, good morning. It's been a while since I posted because the car's been in service. Had a cellular modem replaced. I was getting no premium connectivity, so that's been fixed. I had a little bit of trim fixed, but I got the car back and I'm still on 10.10.2. I know some of you still wanted to see some unprotected lefts on this version, so I figured I would knock a few of those out for you and see what we get. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning here on kind of a little after rush hour, but we've got our standard unprotected left here. Let's see how it goes. Looks like we got a car opposing we need to wait for. It's identified it as blue. It needs to wait because that car has the right of way. Now he waved me through. So that was where that car created confusion, and she waved me through, but I didn't have the right of way. That was interesting. So I'm gonna go ahead and re-engage here. It looks like there is a little bit of traffic coming from the left now that I've re-engaged. That was interesting. I could see her wave inside of a tinted window, but I you know, those sort of indications, I wonder how we're gonna handle this in the future. Okay, I had to disengage for those approaching cars because it was just creeping into the road rather than committing. It started crawling out into the road and those cars were approaching, and I wasn't feeling the acceleration across the road yet. Maybe it would have happened, but that was a little too close for me. Okay, so turn number one, two little instances there with the right-of-way car trying to give me right-of-way, confusion, and then a little bit of slow to commit in the road. We'll try another one. Okay, round two. Got the route set, going widescreen. See how this looks. Paused, creeping, pretty aggressive creep there. Needs to, there we go. Now it stopped. That was a good spot to stop. I just needed some comfort that it was actually going to stop. There's a little bit more traffic coming from the left. Needs to wait. I'm having to lean forward to kind of see. Okay, it looks like there's a nice large gap to the left and to the right. It should just go. It needs to commit though. It needs to commit. Come on, just, gosh, that's creepy crawly. It did it. There was a nice large gap, so it worked. So unlike the previous one, where the gap was smaller, it used that same commit speed. This time the gap was larger and I was able to let it go. But the turn felt identical. It saw the gap and it just kind of eased out there. So successful unprotected left with large gaps on both left and the right. So that means it can still do the maneuver. Okay, let's try another one. This time I've got a car right here in front of me that's turning to the right, so it needs to kind of let him go and then start the creep, that worked fine. That car creeped out just fine. All right, it's at the stop line. A little creep forward, and now it needs to wait right here. Okay, large gap from the left and the right, so it should just go. Same acceleration. That time, okay, wow. Went to the middle lane. That was not very nice. So that lane selection with a large wide open traffic was uncomfortable. Had there been oncoming traffic there, I would have disengaged, but there was nobody coming. Okay, an easy one with a little bit of poor lane selection. All right, here we go. A little bit of creep. Cars are coming. Cars are coming. It needs to wait. Got quite a few coming from the left. The right is wide open due to the stoplight to the right. So if it finds a gap, it should go all the way. There's not a gap there though. Got some big trucks coming. Looks like it can see them. I have a car behind me, so if it hesitates, I'm probably gonna have to commit. Okay, it should go now. Go, 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 go. Come on. Okay, I'm pressing the accelerator there because it just was starting to creep into the road when it needed to go, and it wasn't going. That was a very poor choice of gaps. It was wide open, and it just continued to creep out like it couldn't see, and it just wanted confirmation. So gap selection on that one was pretty bad, and every single one of these turns has had very poor commit speed in the lane of traffic. Once you get in the highway, you kind of got to go, unless you're really going to use reverse, which I'm still not sure I've ever seen yet. We'll give it another go. All right, here we go again. I think we're on number 5, if that's, if I'm counting correctly. There's the stop line, creeping, needs to slow down. Okay, there, stop there. Okay, good. That's a good spot. It could creep a little further forward. I'm leaning forward and I can see a little better than the B-pillar camera. Okay, there might be a false gap here that it's gonna go, but I bet it's right here. It's gonna probably start creeping. It needs to wait though. It needs to wait. Okay, there, it waited in the road, and now it needs to commit. Clear on the right, not in the left lane though. It's gonna need to stop in the median. Okay, it didn't stop in the median for that car right there. So that was a scenario where the median is what it had to do because that car was in the left lane. Had that car been in the middle lane, it could have proceeded. But right now the car doesn't get the angle right to where it can wait without leaving the rear end of the car in the other lanes. So that was an almost, but the median behavior just wasn't there yet. It needs to kind of go wide and in the median. That's the behavior it's going to have to learn if this is ever going to be accomplished. All right, number 6. Got a car across the way it needs to wait for, similar to that first one. I don't know if you can see how dark those windows are tinted on that car. That's similar to where it was before, where I saw the driver wave me through. This time it waited appropriately. Now it needs to creep. So that behavior was accurate. I'm leaning way forward because it's not far enough forward to see well right now. I'm kind of at the steering wheel. I couldn't make a decision from here. I have a car behind me. Okay, it needs to wait again. Needs to wait. Okay, now it needs to go. Go, 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 go. Okay. This is where the car behind me wants to turn, and I needed to get out of its way to go into the median, but the approaching traffic from the right wasn't clear, so it could go into the median. That's an interesting use case. Now, granted, could I have just stayed there for the extra 45 seconds and waited for the traffic for the oncoming to clear? Legally, yes. But that car behind me would have been like, what are you waiting on? And we just can't be that disruptive, even though I've got a bumper sticker that says this is a robo-taxi in training. You can't be that disruptive. I mean, that would have been a little bit annoying. So that's why I took over on that one, because it needed to go to the median. It needed to wait in the median while that car behind me was allowed to proceed. Repeat attempts. Best way to collect data. That's what we're doing here. Multiple scenarios, multiple runs. All right, needs to wait right here, slowly creep. Okay, wow, it creeped way out, and this is a perfect viewpoint. I can see way down the road. I'm glad it stopped here, but it needs to stop creeping as cars are coming. Okay, now there's a nice gap after this truck. Now, here we have a car I can see, but you can't on the cameras. Okay, so it needs to go, but it's waiting here, probably for that car on the right. Now the car on the right has cleared, and there's a tiny gap, but it's gonna have to wait. Okay, it needed to wait on that car right there, and it was just going for it. Maybe it would have stopped, but it didn't do the angle right to get out of the road again. These are just scenarios. I can't let it proceed much more than I did. The tolerances are too small when cars are moving 50 to 55 miles an hour. All right, here we go again. Stop and creep, stop, police car, stop. Okay, got a few cars. It definitely needs to wait. Small gap. It cannot go for that. It hasn't given me the confidence that it has the commit. I'm going to reverse here. There's nobody behind me. It hasn't given me the confidence to let it go in a scenario like that today. Maybe if that had been the first one, I might let it try. Let's see how we go again. All right. Okay, that is a scenario where I think I placed it too close to the stop sign. Interesting. I'm going to back up again. I'm going to go a little bit further back. There's nobody behind me. All right. See if this reset it a little bit so we can see the stop sign and go ahead and commit to the stop. Stop. It never stopped. Okay, this is a use case that I think Tesla needs to understand. I may have it in the navigation, kind of thinking it's already done the stop sign perhaps, but the stop sign is right there. It had a good 100 feet to go before the stop sign. I'm not exactly sure. I'm going to go ahead and re-engage it as soon as this last car passes. It is at the creep point, and it committed and is just proceeding. Nobody in the way. It should just go into this left lane and proceed. Okay, I think that's what I'm going to leave it at today. Kind of a mixed bag. A little bit of confusion there at the stop sign at the end with a commit and a little bit of a reverse. It's almost like it got stuck in its loop a little bit, that it had already done the stop sign. I don't know. Maybe something to think about there for Tesla. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below. Hope you liked the video. Have a great day.